back, the Whiskey Sippin' Realtors.
And we have a guest today, Chris Gilbert with VIP Mortgage.
Hello, everybody.
And we're telling you to
Say yes to the address. Woo! So we're going to talk a little bit about mortgages today.
mortgage interest rates, because that's what everybody is talking about right now.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a little brutal the last few months, and everybody's seen it. Everybody's seen the rates go up, but that's not going to be a problem still because you can still get into a home. We just got to make sure you can afford it. But don't let the rate scare you, because we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about the future and what the future holds for interest rates and how it's such a great buyer's market right now.
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely.
Righty.
And then in the meantime, Trish, our bartender here, is going to be
Making us some mojitos, and we're going to kind of go off script a little bit on the mojitos because we really didn't pay attention to what we needed today. But at the last minute, Barbie was able to go and secure us some mints.
And
However, where are the mints?
Uh-oh.
Honey, we need to have our assistant go all the way over there, Mr. Assistant, off-camera guy, and bring me over
Get our
the mints. And while we're talking, I'll go ahead and start muddling some, get the blueberries ready.
okay, because I like blueberry mojitos.
I love blueberry mojitos.
Those
I
are one
love
of my
all types of
favorites.
mojitos.
Right.
Oh, good, good.
And there'll be a mystery hand going to come around the corner. Maybe what side, right over here. Thank you. Look,
I got the mint.
automatically the show.
3 stores later, finally got mint. I don't know why there's a mint shortage going on, but there is.
Because that's just life in America right now.
So a little bit about the mortgage rates. We're going to be reflecting back to last year, 2021.
Correct.
What it cost to buy a home then versus what it's costing the buyer today
That is correct.
to buy a home.
Yeah, so how many times did you guys see people have to bid over asking price last year?
Too many times.
Yeah, I mean,
Too many times.
Crazy.
It was crazy. I mean, how many homes would you show people before you actually got one under contract?
We would probably be writing 20 offers for like one client for
Yes.
20 different
Exactly.
properties.
For 20 different properties.
Calling the listing agent, trying to get a
Begging.
rapport going. Of course,
Pleading.
they were too busy to take phone calls because you get it. They were getting hundreds of offers
Right. It
for
was
one house.
So
Yeah.
many
One
offers,
house.
so many people. I remember walking through when my kid was looking, and there was 20 other couples in there on the first day.
Yes.
Right.
And all I could hear was the listing agent saying, "We've already got 7 offers over asking price." And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it happens so often." So I mean, let's talk about that. Let's talk about a $500,000 home last
Okay.
year.
Okay.
And let's just say that, okay, you finally got it, you got your offer in there, but you had to bid $530,000.
But last year the rates were
What, three?
In the threes,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we got as low as the high 2s and up into the middle to the high 3s, so
everybody
they were
loved
phenomenal.
the threes. We got
Right.
spoiled.
Right, and everybody thinks that's still where we are. We got to rewind. I mean, I remember when I got in this business 28 years ago, if I could get somebody under 10%, hero.
Well, my
Yeah,
husband and I
lined
were
up
just
at the
talking about
door.
our first house because that was way back in the dark ages, like Cave Creek, caveman.
Cave Creek.
Okay, I know Cave Creek. I love to live in Cave Creek, but it's more the caveman. But our first house was only $60,000, though. Keep that in mind.
I know.
But we had a 13% interest rate.
Yeah.
And we thought 60,000 was a lot. So it is kind of hard when you think about, now you're looking at, what is our mid price? Around the
470.
Yeah, the
And
median
it's-
home price is starting to come down.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Because of the interest rates, but that's still a lot.
Right.
You want to pass me the glasses, Trish, and I'll start putting some ice?
No, you guys
You want me to?
Absolutely.
Okay. Throw me for
Look at the
alcohol.
muddling.
Sorry, I just need a drink.
I know, you got
That's
ready
a way of
too.
telling me that you were taking too long
I mean,
with
we
the
are
model.
whiskey sipping realtors.
But today we're gonna do the if I can get that, I'm gonna have to start using my fingers. Sorry guys, because we're a little bit redneck too. Oh, see? All right, go ahead.
That's okay.
And we talk about now. We'll tell you real quick. We're just gonna do 1.5 shots
Okay.
of rum and then an ounce of the simple syrup.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Go
Y'all go ahead and talk. Oh,
So,
go ahead.
oh yeah, back to that $500,000 house.
Yes.
Let's say that your client got the offer accepted at 530.
Yep,
Okay, so
because
we went.
you had to overbid.
That's right.
Every buyer knew that they had to come in with extra money to even
Correct.
get a house.
That's right.
And no closing costs. So they had to
Right.
have their down payment,
Mhm,
money to go over asking price,
mhm.
money to pay appraisal gap,
Yep.
and pay their own closing costs.
That is
Right.
correct. Yeah, and I mean that could have costed somebody because us as a mortgage company, as a lender, we're going to base everything off of what that appraised value is. So
Right.
if you went in at 530 and that house was worth 500,000 on the appraisal, you're going to come in with that 30 right off the bat.
Off the bat.
Here's 30,000. Now give me your 20%
Right.
based off of 500,000. So now you're coming in with 100,000. So now you're coming in with $130,000 down payment to buy that $500,000
And your
house.
closing costs.
And your closing costs, which could be $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. So let's say there's 6, and you're at $136,000 investment.
Yes.
Now, back last year when the rates were great, let's say that you got that $400,000 loan and the rate was 3.75. Okay, you didn't have to pay any points or any origination points, and your principal and interest payment, not including the taxes and insurance, was about $1,853. So that's great. I mean, that's not too bad, and the interest rate is good, but you're still paying $136,000 out of your pocket.
Yes.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Right.
So then that would make the house about 400,000.
Correct.
That's what they would actually be financing.
The loan amount would be about $400,000.
So then their monthly payment then, based on that, would be about
$1,853 for just the loan, and then let's factor in maybe a couple $100 for taxes, maybe $100 for insurance. So you could be $2,150. HOA, if it's got an HOA, another $50. So you could be $2,200 all in.
right.
Right?
Okay.
So
now let's compare that to today.
right. So let's say you want to go show me a $500,000 house. What's going to happen there? I mean, I get to go look at a lot of different homes,
There's
right?
plenty of inventory right now to
Right.
look at.
Will
We're
I
not-
get to look at it the next weekend too? Probably.
Yes, you will. Yes, you
And
will.
what happened last year?
And there'll be no one to compete with. You'll be the only person in the house looking at it.
right.
There's
right.
not going to be a line around the corner.
Correct, and I think that's big. I remember when I bought both my houses, I went and looked at it, and we thought about it, and we went back the next weekend and looked at it again, whereas last year,
People were settling.
right,
Settling.
I mean, they were just getting a house because they needed a house.
Right. It
They
was a
really didn't
frenzy.
love the
And,
house.
and
want
also
the
it
house,
might
but
not have
they
been in the
needed
best
it.
condition.
Right.
We had a lot of sweat equity homes last year. I had to use that term a lot,
Yes.
especially with my first time buyers.
Right.
They're like, what is sweat equity? I said, you like the house, it's in a great neighborhood, the bones are good.
Right.
But you still might have to go in there and put in new
Paint,
flooring, new
carpet.
paint. You
And-
might need a new kitchen, new bathroom.
And what did
Yes.
sellers say last year if you needed to do repairs?
We don't care.
We don't care, yeah.
We just want the house. We need a house.
Right.
Yes.
Oh,
Or-
no, buy, no,
Sellers
didn't
were
care.
sellers
No,
were like,
yeah.
we'll just
Yeah,
sell it to
sellers,
somebody
yeah.
else,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
I don't care the
Absolutely.
AC's
Take it
broke,
out. Yeah.
the roof's
Exactly.
leaking, take it,
Right.
and you
Sellers
can
didn't have
fix
to
it.
do anything
Right.
because they knew the next buyer would give their kidney
Right.
for the house.
Life insurance
Now, I would say
policy.
safely, none of our clients had to give a kidney, we're just saying.
Yes.
Right,
No,
right.
they did not.
So we fast forward to this year. I mean, everything's kind of shifted. Interest rates have gone up. We've seen it shift to more of a buyer's market, in my
Right.
opinion. What do you guys think? I mean, you're out.
It is.
Yeah.
It's more of a buyer's market in the respect that there's more inventory, but with the prices of the homes coming down, they still haven't come down enough to offset the high interest rates.
Right.
Right.
Right. I mean, and that's just what you were saying,
Yeah.
that 20, 30 years ago when rates were 10, 13%, homes were $60,000, $100,000.
Right.
You know, $200,000 was a very expensive home.
But I also feel that in today's market, we still have motivated sellers. We still
Yes.
have sellers that are ready to come down off the price of that
Oh,
house.
absolutely.
Give closing costs, give concessions so a buyer can buy down their rate.
Right.
But
So
the
don't be afraid
buyers
to
are-
ask.
But the buyers are like, I feel like, no,
Right.
which confuses me because this is their market. This is the market we've been waiting for. Even if interest rates
Right.
are at 7% now,
Right.
they've got plenty to choose from. They
They're
hold
just
all the
shell
cards.
shocked. They're still shell shocked.
Right,
Right.
the buyers
Yeah.
hold all the cards. Where last year we couldn't even get at the poker table.
Right.
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 And they were willing to give their soul away for a house.
That's right.
And now they hold the cards, so we just need
Would y'all like to taste?
educate the buyers and let them know this is still doable and still a good time to purchase a home.
Right.
Absolutely. I think it's one of the best times. I mean, other than swallowing the interest rate pill, which we're going to get to, that's going to change. You know, we're just going to date this rate. We're not married to this rate, but we're
Right.
sure as heck going to marry our house.
Right.
You know,
And-
right.
this is something we're going to be in for a long,
And what
long
was it
time.
Fannie Mae just came out with their projection?
Fannie Mae last week came out. It's on Google. Google it and just Google Fannie Mae interest rate forecast, and you'll see they are forecasting 4.5% next year.
Next
you
year.
know, because right now the
So they
interest
can
rates have gone up.
refinance is what we're trying to say.
Right.
Exactly.
If you marry the house today and just date the rate, next year this time you can refinance and marry your interest rate.
Right. So let's get back to that $500,000 house that last year I paid $530,000 for, and it cost me $136,000 out of my pocket. So now this year I'm going to come in and I'm going to say, all right, I love this $500,000 house. What do you think we should do? I mean, do you think I should go a lot lower?
I would say let's go in at 490.
Okay, great. I like the 490. And then what about closing costs?
So that's the
Let's
sum they
ask.
pay 'em.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So maybe we ask them for 2 or 2.5% of closing costs.
Yes.
Right.
And as we said earlier, closing costs are about $5,000 to $7,000 on a price range like this. So let's say they did $6,000, and let's say they paid 2.5% of the sales price, which is over $12,000.
Right.
So we're going to take that $6,000 and pay all your title fees, the processing, underwriting, and we're going to use the other money to help buy down that interest rate.
Right.
Yeah. So you can pay what's called a discount point. A discount discount point is equal to 1% of your loan amount. So if you had a $400,000 loan amount, that's $4,000. So we've still got maybe another $2,000 to play with. So maybe we pay 1.5 points to help get that interest rate down as low as possible. And let's say we got it down to 6 1/4. Okay. Now we know that 3.75 versus 6 1/4 is a big difference. So you could be looking at a principal and interest payment of about $2,400. So that is $600 higher.
Right.
But you're still in the driver's seat. You're getting into that home.
And you still have $130,000 in your pocket.
Right.
Where
Before
last year
yeah.
they were giving $130,000. So this year you can get in with having your closing costs paid, buying down your rate, and just your down payment.
Right. I mean,
and then you've got money in your pocket to do fixes or repairs or whatever.
Absolutely. So you're getting in
Updating.
with 20% down at $490 is $98,000.
Yes.
Right. So I've come in with my $98,000 versus my $136,000. So that's $38,000 in my pocket.
Right.
I like that.
Yes.
So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to take from that $38,000 this $500 or $600 a month difference, and I'm going to pull for it to help pay for that higher interest rate right now.
Right.
So
Right.
I get it. We all understand we're getting payment shock, but we've got to understand too that next year we're going to see these come down. So let's fast forward to say the summer of 2023, rates are back at 4.5%. And let's say you come back and you do that refinance, your payment was at about $2,400, and now that payment is going to go down to about $1,987.
Nice.
Yeah, so you're
Nice.
going to drop quite a bit.
So it's
on
kind
your
of just
payment.
like a short term.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, we're just dating that rate, and
Right.
we can't wait to get rid of it because we're going to get rid of it next year.
Right.
Okay, I am thirsty, and those look good. We need a break.
They do look good.
Hold
They
on,
do
hold
look
on.
good.
I got the last little piece right there. There, yours can sit in there. Okay,
Are they ready?
they're ready.
They're ready.
Are you going to go
Well,
first?
how come my lime's on the inside and yours is on the rim?
Stop being a very little sister and drink your drink. Tell her thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for the invitation.
Try it.
You're welcome. What do we think? It's a little different.
It is a little different. It's not
because
bad.
We used the sparkling ice
Ah.
water instead of like a Sprite.
Sprite.
Yeah,
Or
I love
or
Sprite.
soda water.
Sprite is my
Right.
favorite.
Me too.
Right.
Using them.
Right.
I do like
just as
Sprite.
long as you don't get too much Sprite. I've gotten them
Right.
at like restaurants, and
Well,
it's like
yeah.
half Sprite, and it's
Well,
like
in
Yeah.
that case, we can fix it here. I can just put a little bit more rum and a little bit more simple syrup if it's a little too light. Just let me know, because I know we still have to go
It's
back
very
to work.
refreshing.
Yeah, it's a nice summer one. In
Love
Arizona,
mojitos.
it's almost October, but it is still summer for us.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
still at 100
81
degrees.
in the morning. Yeah,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
it's
But
still
it's
pretty
coming
good.
another
Right.
month, and we'll be the envy of the country, right?
Yes, we will.
Right, we will.
Yes, we will. Yeah.
Everybody will want to be moving here.
Yeah.
Again, every year.
It is. I mean, and that's another great point is that Phoenix has held its values.
Right.
I mean, you have so many
Right.
people that are still coming to Phoenix, and other parts of the country may see some price declines a little bit more than what Phoenix is. You know,
Right.
we're seeing little drops here and there is what I'm seeing, but
I
I'm not
think
seeing
that,
500 to 300.
Yeah, no, and I do feel that the Phoenix area, probably along with Nevada, maybe some of Florida, is also like the leader in the market.
Mhm.
And what I mean by that is I feel like whatever is happening to us now, the rest of the states will follow suit shortly after. So, you know,
Because we
that's
still have
what
the
it
big
seems to
industries
be.
moving into the valley, which is awesome.
do.
The Amazon came. I think has that been finished built?
I don't know.
Me neither.
Have you guys seen that semiconductor plant?
The
out
semi
on
yeah,
the
303?
chip factory. Yes,
Huge.
yes.
Huge.
I mean, that is an
Yes.
entire
Right.
city, and that is going to, I think it's
Yeah.
going to revamp the entire north area up there.
Uh-huh.
along
Which would
that
be also good
303.
because now we're also making our own chips in the United States.
That's right.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. I guess, I mean,
Yeah.
the U.S. is really relying on that plant to get done
Yeah.
ASAP.
Yeah. Right.
You know, I already have a client that says he's starting work there, I think in November, December.
Mhm.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
They've been pushing
They're already
along
moving
very
here.
fast. Yeah.
They're already moving here. They're working there. Yes. So
So let's talk about that difference. So now you got that 6 1/4 now, and now we got to 4.5 next year. So now you're saving that $400 or $500 a month and brought your payment back down, right? And you got a great deal, and they paid your closing costs. It's a win-win for a buyer right now. But you had to swallow that pill for that year or 6 months, you know, however long it might be until we see those rates come back
Because
down.
we're almost to 2023.
Yeah.
It's just a skip around the corner.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But even with that being said, I mean,
Right.
still, even though I know people are freaking out, oh my gosh, it's a 7% interest rate. Like you said, Trisha, you bought your home at 13%
Right.
at one time. I've even heard other people pay higher than that.
I've heard 16.
So, yeah.
Yeah, my first rate was 7.5 back in '96.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I thought that was a good rate, and that was a 5-year ARM. That
Mhm.
wasn't even a 30-year fixed.
Right.
So,
I mean, it's been 20 years really since we've seen this
Right.
size of an interest rate.
Correct.
So 20 years.
Right.
So,
We've all
and
been
it did
spoiled.
stick around long last time.
right.
It really didn't. If
And
you
it's
look
not
back at
gonna,
it.
it's
Yeah.
not gonna, I honestly, I mean, we can't. I mean, with what they've done and how quickly they've raised the prime interest
Yes.
rate,
Right.
you know, they're doing it to fight inflation, and that's what the markets want. They want to see the Feds fighting inflation. And as soon as we see that,
Well,
we're
God
gonna see
bless
rates.
them, right?
Yeah. Another cocktail.
We'll drink to that one.
Yes.
Or should I just say bless their hearts?
That's more like it, Trisha.
So once you refi, let's say you did refi next year,
Mm-hmm.
but you wish you would have bought in 2021, even at that 3.75 versus 4.5, the payment difference is $130 a month. So it's not that bad, even though you're, you know, doing this $400, $500, $600 more than what it is right now. When we fast forward, you're going to get that payment back down
Right.
to a
Right.
more manageable spot.
And I mean, it's still, I will always say it's better to own than rent, because renting, you're just throwing your money away, where owning a home, historically, it's been about 3%.
Right, and right now
Annual
the rents in
increase
Phoenix
in
are
equity.
outrageous.
Right.
I mean, I
Yes.
was looking at for a client, I had a 1,400 square foot home out in Surprise, and he was going to be paying well over $2,000 a month.
Yes, for nothing.
But because it was a brand new home, so that
You're building
owner
that
needs to get
investor's
it,
equity.
Right, that's exactly. He's
Yeah.
trying to get a tenant in there to pay off the payment he's paying.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, and that's something to keep in mind too, is that I know we're seeing a little dip, but Phoenix has always had appreciation. I mean,
Right.
and we're blessed with that, I think, you know,
Yes.
because there's other parts of the country that you bought that house 10 years ago for $450 and it's worth $455 10 years
Yeah,
later.
Right.
That's true.
Whereas here, you're going to see that 3 to 7%.
Because of the growth.
Yes,
Because
there's a
we're
lot of growth,
constantly
right.
growing.
Right, which is
Yes.
huge. So, I mean, you're
Yes.
still buying that house. You get a little bit of a discount on it. Say you made 3% on that $500,000 house. That's still $15,000 that you made
Yeah.
Right.
that you didn't have.
Right.
And you
Right.
still got that $38,000 in your pocket too.
Yes.
Well, what's an average, not counting last year, and your both that kind of led up to last year with the prices going up so high, isn't it normally about a 3 to 6% year or 6% too much because your house values go up?
It's about 3%.
Said about
Yeah,
3%, right?
yeah. I mean, since I've been in the business for 28 years, I've always seen at least 3%.
At least 3%.
Yeah,
So
no.
that was, we had an
I mean,
anomaly
last year was
going,
like a fluke.
Yeah, that was a fluke,
Yeah, that was 33%. I
Right.
mean, for Maricopa County, which was
Yeah.
huge, and
Right.
everybody loved it. And that's the reason why sellers now will play ball, you
Yeah.
know, because they do have all that equity in their houses.
Right, they're able to, right.
They're
Right.
absolutely priced right, but you know they did buy and they got that equity. But that doesn't mean that that next buyer can't step in and keep building the equity.
Right. Exactly. All right.
All right.
Anything else you
That
want
was
to finish
it,
off with?
really.
I don't know, I think that was pretty good,
I
pretty
mean,
quick.
I think
easy.
something to look at
Yeah.
is the rents.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I was doing this with a client last week, and we'll end on this. But they were going to buy their parents' house. The parents were going to gift them some equity. I told them the payment was $2,400, and their eyes popped out of their head.
Because
okay?
they want mom's payment.
Right, and that's exactly right. Because
And they
mom's
want mom to
payment,
pay it.
Yeah, that's right.
mom's payment was $1,200. So
Yeah.
they're going.
Why
okay.
can't we have that payment?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, the parents have been in the house for 20 years, you
Right.
know, and they had refied and they had a 2.75 rate.
Mm-hmm.
So as they sat there in my office, I pulled up rentals in their house. The cheapest one I could find was $2,200 a month, and it was 200 square feet smaller. It was a 3-bedroom,
Right.
2-bath. They were in a 4-bedroom, 2-bath.
Right.
And then I pulled up another one that was $2,500 a month, another one that was $2,400 a
Yeah.
month. And I talked to
Yeah.
him about it, and I said, so if your parents sell this house and you want to go rent another house,
This amount.
this is what you're going to pay.
Yeah.
You know, think about that.
Right.
You know, and
Also-
you're going to own this house.
Right, it's your house. Right.
Right,
And
it's
it's
your
what
house.
you love because you've probably been raised in a house.
Well,
Right.
they probably know how well it's been taken care of,
Right.
too.
Right. Right. And then
Yeah.
what happens next year after you renew your lease? Mr. Landlord says, hey, we're going to bump
raise
your
it-
rent.
Yeah, we had a lot
Right.
of that last year too. Last minute notice, with $500, $1,000, and people are like, we can't afford to pay that.
Right.
Yeah,
And
so-
especially this year, I've seen it. I've seen rents just double. I mean, I've had numerous clients call me. They were paying $800 for a 1-bedroom apartment, and now it's going to $1,500.
Right.
So all that stuff is catching up. Phoenix has been a very undervalued market,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's starting to get a little
Right.
bit more value. I mean, we're no California yet, but I think we're definitely.
Bite your tongue.
I know. Well, I mean,
Bless
you know
their
what you
hearts
can buy,
again.
you know, what you can get out there versus
Right.
here. So anyway, don't let the rate scare you. You're just gonna date it, and we're gonna marry that house forever.
Awesome.
Well, let's hope so, because I've noticed that kind of a trend where I feel that, like, our grandparents and our parents, when
Yeah.
they bought a house, they were in it for the long haul. I
Right.
mean, when they got a 30-year mortgage,
Right.
they had a 30-year mortgage. Where I feel like nowadays, I don't know if it's the millennials, don't take offense, millennials, but I feel like it's fashionable to get a house and in 3 years, let's sell it and get something new. And then
Right.
let's sell it and get something different. It's like people don't stay in their houses
They're not putting
for
down
the
their
long
roots.
term.
Right.
Like we did. We put down roots.
Yeah.
Because the house we're actually in right now, we've owned this house since 1991. I always want to say 1990, but I had to look at him to help her. 1991.
Assistant.
Yeah, assistant. And you know, this is where, you know, we raised our family. And we'll be here probably until we can't do the stairs anymore. And
So you've been here for
30, someone do the math, 33 years.
33 years.
Yeah.
And you,
No, 31.
can
Over
I
30
ask you
years.
what you paid for it 33 years ago?
$130,000.
And it's probably worth $600,000-700,000 right now.
600,000. Yeah.
That's nice.
See,
equity.
that's why you
Yeah.
marry a house, people, right
Yeah,
there.
that's right.
You just marry a house and stay in it.
And
Cheap
don't-
it to keep it.
Keep it, that's right.
And don't wait, because you think you're waiting till next year's
Right.
going to be better. Okay, rates are down,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, right.
So what do you think is going to happen once rates come back down to 4.5?
Right.
I was saying this, buy it now.
Yes.
It's
Well,
gonna be
it's-
frenzy,
The
yeah.
refi is going to go like crazy for
Right.
one, and then when that happens, of course, the market, the buyers are going to be out wanting to buy houses, and
Right.
then we're
And
going
the
to
sellers
be
are
shot
gonna
back into a
refinance.
seller's
Yeah,
We're gonna
market,
be
Right.
right back to the
where
same
we'll be
thing.
selling a kidney to get a house again.
Right.
So get your house now,
Right.
date the interest rate, and then we'll marry it next year when the
Right.
interest rates come down.
That's right. Don't pay more for that
Refinance.
house next year.
Right.
right.
Don't pay more. Exactly.
Excellent.
Exactly.
All right.
So-
Cheers,
Cheers.
lady.
Cheers.
Cheers.
lady.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm
Thank you,
gonna
Chris,
take
for
this over
stopping
here.
by.
Okay.
Okay.
High five.